You have a ton of respect in the community. You know, I know you probably don't want to hear this, but you've been called a legend. You're a very, very well-respected warrior, and a lot of people want to hear what you have to say.
You get married, you go to war, you get killed, and then you're this big hero, you know, and everybody loves you, you know? That's how I saw life.
Especially with the guys that are putting you through. I mean, the Mogadishu guys, Tom Satterley and his boys. And then knowing they know more than anybody else what you're about to walk into.
I just watched how these guys work downrange. They were wizards, man.
I mean, those had to be some hard men to please.
They were super tough at upholding the standard. They were special forces soldiers by, with, and through, and like they could mobilize a battalion at their whim. You know what I mean? Like wizards.
When did you finally enlist?
My uncle and my grandfather, being the big influencers that they were both enlisted guys. I was a mess, man. I was an angry, emotional mess, you know, already an alcoholic.
What kind of emotions were going through you when you saw your first dead bodies?
What kind of emotions were
Did you see women? Did you see children?
Yeah, I did. It was, I was pretty numb. Because I was pretty emotionally overwhelmed. Number one, I was hyping myself up to not be so afraid. On the military side of the house, man, I was on my way. All of that's excelling, but my personal life is coming apart.
When you say your life was coming apart, how so?
I've experienced war. I've gotten even more harder and more angrier and more violent. The only people that I'm comfortable with is guys that I went to war with. Just going downhill with no hope in sight. But I didn't know that there was another way, God. Which that was a different subject too, because I hated God.
You hated God at the time?
Hated God. All my life I'd been raised in the church, so I just could never connect with it. And that's not anything negative on church. That was just where I was. I could never relate or understand to the God that they were talking about, how they were talking about him.
Where's the extra guilt coming from?
The extra guilt is coming from, I ended up becoming the guy that I hated the most. I didn't know how I would be in combat sober.
Let's talk about the first one where you engaged somebody.
Okay.
Let's go right there. Where are you?
Through signal intelligence, they found out that they were loaded for bear, had bombs, had weaponry, and they were going to conduct attacks on Americans. Our job was to go in on helos and then ground assault. You know, it's intel. You don't know if it's 100%, you know, but got an idea what he's doing. Then he gets everything that he needs out of the way, and then he picks up a PKM. Whenever I started shooting him, and it was clear as day for me as far as every dot, I knew where every single round was landed. But that was the first time that, I had killed another human being, 100% sure of me right then at that time.
Throughout our interview so far, you've talked a lot about God. You've talked a lot about being merciful. It sounds like you have been almost concerned that it it would go out of control. That you were gonna embrace this rage. And it didn't, I mean, so how did it feel the first time? We're gonna jump around a little bit.
Okay.
Here. It's 12 deployments,
Yeah.
over 1,000 direct actions. We're not gonna be able to cover all that.
No, we will not.